There's a kind of silence that hits you when you realize people have quietly stopped calling your name. Not loudly, not dramatically, just less. And the strange part is, nothing obvious changed. You didn't fail publicly. You didn't mess anything up in a big way, but somehow, things just stopped working out. And people noticed, even if they never said it out loud. That kind of silence? It doesn't come all at once. It builds, and by the time you finally feel it, it's already been there for a while. Welcome back to the channel. This is where we tell real, relatable stories, the kind that feel simple on the surface, but stay with you a little longer than expected. We drop new stories twice a week, Tuesdays and Saturdays. So if you're into stories that make you pause, think, or quietly relate, you might want to subscribe. Because today's story, it's about effort. Not the loud kind, but the kind that quietly doesn't get the results you expected. And it starts with someone named Rowan Vale. Rowan Vale was the kind of person you'd notice. Not because he asked to be seen, but because he was always there. If something needed to be done, Rowan was already moving. Not waiting, not watching. Doing. He helped without hesitation. Carried what needed to be carried, fixed what needed fixing, stepped in before things got worse. People used to say things like, "You can always count on Rowan," and they meant it. But there's something people don't always say out loud. Sometimes, being reliable isn't the same as being effective, and Rowan was starting to become the example of that. Not because he didn't try, but because his effort didn't always land. It wasn't one big moment. That would have been easier to understand. It was smaller than that, quieter, the kind of situations you don't think much about until they start repeating. Like the delivery truck that got stuck near the edge of town. Rowan was there first. Of course he was. He guided the driver, pushed from the back, even called others to help. He gave everything into it. But the truck didn't move. Not enough. Eventually, someone called for professional help. And when it arrived, the problem was solved. Quickly, cleanly. Like it hadn't been that difficult in the first place. No one blamed Rowan, but no one forgot the outcome either. That's the part people don't admit. They don't remember how hard you tried. They remember if it worked. Then there was Silas Reed. If Rowan was always in motion, Silas was the opposite. Still, quiet. The kind of person you could easily overlook in a group. He didn't rush into situations, didn't react immediately. Most times, he just watched. And at first, people didn't think much of him. But slowly, that changed. Because when Silas did step in, things worked. Not dramatically, not loudly, just correctly. And somehow, that was enough. The shift didn't happen all at once. It never does. It showed up in small ways. A pause before someone called Rowan. A glance around, like they were checking if someone else was available. And sometimes, a sentence that didn't sound like much, but carried more than it should. Let's wait a bit. Wait for what? Rowan already knew. That quiet shift. It wasn't loud, but it hit hard. Because for the first time, he wasn't the obvious choice anymore. One afternoon, something small happened. Too small to matter, at least on the surface. A stack of boxes had fallen outside a store. Nothing serious, just a mess. Rowan stepped in immediately, picking things up, organizing, moving quickly like he always did. Then someone nearby said, "Should we call Silas?" Rowan paused, not long, just enough to feel it, because he was already helping, or at least trying to. That moment, it didn't look like much, but it stayed. After that, Rowan started noticing things he hadn't before. Not what people said, but what they didn't say. The hesitation, the delay, the subtle shift in who people trusted. And then the thought came, quiet but persistent. If I'm doing everything right, why does it still go wrong? He didn't say it out loud, but it stayed. And once a thought like that settles in, it doesn't leave easily. Then one day, it happened again. But this time, it was different. A man had slipped near the roadside. Not serious, but bad enough to need help. Rowan was closest. He moved instantly, crouched down, supported the man, trying to lift him carefully. Easy. I've got you. He adjusted his grip, shifted his weight, tried again. But it wasn't working. The man winced, still struggling. Rowan tried again. Same result. And that quiet pressure, the one he'd been ignoring, came back. Stronger. Because now it wasn't just about effort. It was about outcome. Then a voice behind them. Hold on. Silas. He didn't rush. Didn't panic. Just looked at the situation for a moment. Shift him slightly, he said. Rowan adjusted. No, not like that. Here. A small change. Barely noticeable. But this time, when they lifted him, it worked. The man stood up. Steady. No struggle. Just better. Rowan stepped back. Not because he had to, but because something in that moment made him. That was the difference. Not effort, but precision. That night, Rowan sat outside longer than usual. No anger, no frustration, just thinking. And the question returned, clearer this time. If I'm doing everything I can, why isn't it enough? And maybe that wasn't the right question. Maybe the better one was, am I doing the right things? Or just doing more things? That difference? It's small, but it changes everything. A few days later, Rowan saw Silas again. No pressure this time, just a normal moment. He hesitated, then asked, "How do you know what to do?" Silas looked at him. "What do you mean? You don't do as much, but it works." Silas paused, then said something simple. "I don't try to do everything, just the part that matters." That answer, it didn't sound deep, but it felt uncomfortable, because it meant something Rowan hadn't considered before. Effort wasn't the problem. Direction was. After that, Rowan didn't change overnight. He still helped, still showed up. But now, he paused, just a little, observed more, acted slightly later, but more intentionally, and slowly, things started working out. Not every time, but enough to notice. Because the truth is, people don't always reward effort, not because they're unfair, but because results are easier to see, easier to remember. And maybe that's the part no one really talks about. Trying hard matters, but understanding what actually works matters more. And if you've ever been the one giving everything, and still feeling like it's not enough, then you already understand that silence from the beginning. The one where people don't say anything, but somehow you hear everything. So if this felt a little too real, you might want to stay around for the next one. Go ahead, like the video, and subscribe, because stories like this, we've all lived at least one of them, and sometimes we don't even realize it until later.